It's Tuesday, March 8th, coming up live on The View. They're the hottest topics in the headlines, from Charlie Sheen's brand new online fury after being fired from 2.5 Men.
Pay me.
To the college professor who put on a live sex show in front of students. And Barbara finally watched The Bachelor last night, and she's telling all today. Plus, Russell Brand's exposing how this former bedhopper is adjusting to married life with Katy Perry, how he's hopping into a theater near you as the Easter Bunny's son, and has a sneak peek of his remake of the comedy classic Arthur. Then, she's bringing her camera from coast to coast to capture the most controversial people and places in our America. And Lisa Ling is back at The View to show you what happened when she met church groups who believe that homosexuality can be cured by praying the gay away. All that, hot topics and more, coming up live on The View.
Welcome to The View. Now, it's Fat Tuesday. Does this dress make me look fat? That's right, baby.
You're right.
It's Fat Tuesday, baby.
Wednesday tomorrow.
We didn't answer. Does this make you look fat?
Yes.
We'll vote. How many say yes?
I say black is always slimming.
I say yes.
I say yes, too.
It's a lot going on. That's all.
Yeah.
So what? What's going on?
Who cares?
So what? Who cares?
I think you look stunning.
I might look stunned, but stunning, yes. Listen, I am stunned, actually, because you and I did something that we have never probably done before, but I think you should have the honor of telling everyone what it was that you did last night.
Whoopi Goldberg and I watched The Bachelor. When they had all the women on. You know, we have a wonderful producer here named Rachel who sometimes writes memos and says it was 2 hours that I will never get back in my life.
Yes.
Okay? So this is what I felt about it, because I had all of the Bachelor women talking about the other Bachelor women. Okay? They were all very good. Women tell all. So I think on these shows, having watched last night, whether it's the housewives of New Jersey, the housewives of California, there's always a designated bitch.
Sure.
Isn't that true? I don't know whether they choose them in advance
in our group here.
or they become that way. What'd you say?
Like in our group here.
Will the designated bitch please stand up?
Right now, at this minute, I am. But I think it depends on the show. But so first of all, I think on every show, you got to have the bad one. But I thought, and we'll show this clip, I thought it was so cruel. I thought this is supposed
because
to be
they were talking about each other badly, Barbara?
One young woman was in tears. They were talking to her about her child. Can we show it? I just thought it was so cruel. I didn't find it entertaining. Sorry.
I want to find love. And, like, I want that for my daughter and for me, and I don't know.
Michelle, I don't know how you were brought up, but in my family, like, it kind of goes something like this. Like, you know, you put your child first. Thank you. And I'm sorry, but I felt like you put you first. I know how my mother raised me and how I plan on raising my children is putting them first.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
Come on, that's a pretty obvious statement. Right. And I felt like if she put her daughter first, there are definitely some options that she could have made. But like actions and what you say are two different things.
Yeah, when Chris Harrison's got to get in there and break it up, it's gone ugly.
Oh, it's just acting.
This was, interestingly enough, Michelle, who was crying, I'll break it down for you. Michelle, who was crying, was originally the bad girl during the previous episodes of The Bachelor. She was snarky, you know, but she has a very sort of like sarcastic sense of humor. All the other women hated her. She came down on them in the videos. They got mad. Right. She is a mom, and that other girl was knocking her motherhood, which I think is like way over the line. Like you don't go and do that. So I thought she crossed the line
Especially when the other one doesn't have any kids.
It's very interesting.
She doesn't know anything.
With this kind of shows, you know, because my whole problem with The Bachelor is just that it doesn't reflect real life, because all of these women are running after this guy, trying to show him why they are so perfect for him. But in reality, it's, you know, when the lights and cameras go off, then how perfect are you for me? And especially, I go with women who have children. You know, you're running after this guy. What is he doing to show you that he's going to be really good for your children?
Well, next week it was serious.
What we think, since you and I were virgins in this area.
I think I should have smoked the joint. That's what I think. If I was going to space out that much time of my life, I should have enjoyed it.
Well, here's my problem. One, I would love to watch the finale with both of you, but I just hope...
the designated bitch or the designated...
Head.
Hothead for
All I know is that next... Because I had TiVo'd the Lule log, and I was catching up on that.
Believe me, the TiVo would have fallen us. Well, no, I shouldn't say. No, this is a very popular show that ABC has been doing for so how many years? And you love it.
It's been on 15
they
seasons.
never last.
Brad's been on 2 of them. And just
And
so
they
you
never
know,
get married.
next week is a finale on Monday night on ABC. And you know what? Brad better play by the rules, Brad. I don't know where you are out there, but look, this is your second time, buddy. You will choose somebody in order. You will hand out a rose, and then hopefully
do you think it does so well because we believe in fairy tales? We want to believe in the happily ever after?
No, I want The Bachelor to play by the rules.
You know why it does so well? Because some people who have 3 children who actually can watch The Bachelor the whole time and not be bothered by those little kids really are into the show.
That's right.
But now let's go on to another show of sorts, because this is really what's sort of gotten everybody really going a little nutty. Charlie Sheen was officially fired from 2.5 Men yesterday. Yeah. And last night...
No fans over here.
All right. And last night he was back in Sheen's corner ranting about it online. Now take a look.
People need to hear my gold as it rolls out, not as it's like disappearing like so many freaking, you know, magician's rabbits. We are in the middle of a movement here, an odyssey of epic proportions. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I don't think so. Winner, winner, Sheen dinner. People keep calling me and interrupting our conversation. Don't they know? Don't they know that we are in the cyber pocket of greatness? What's not to love? It's my life. Winning. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's the best drink in the world. But what is it? I won't show it because I haven't been paid for it.
Okay, so he's finally over the edge. Is that what this is now?
Is he a Yankees fan? I didn't even know.
He's over the edge now, the guy.
I'm mad. He should have a Red Sox jersey on, as far as I'm concerned.
The guy is obviously mentally disturbed or on some kind of drugs there. That's really not so funny.
You know, we should say, first of all, that we wondered why he was fired now. And the letter that fired him cited his physical appearance, his inability to deliver lines, his inability to collaborate creatively with the crew, his inability to work with executive producers. Up until now, we had been hearing that he always showed up, that he was always there. But, you know, going on what you say, Bill and I do a radio show for Sirius Radio every Monday night, and we had a doctor, a Harvard psychiatrist named Dr. John Sharp, who's the executive medical director of Bridges Through Recovery. And he said, this is nothing to laugh at. This man is bipolar. Sure. And he's in that manic stage. And he said, you have to have 3 of these 7 symptoms to be considered that. And he has seen all of them. Distractibility, indiscretion, that is excessive involvement in pleasurable activities, grandiosity, flight of ideas, activity increase, sleep deficit, and talkativeness. This man needs lithium. This man needs treatment. This is not someone for us to laugh at.
But wouldn't uppers cause the same type of symptoms?
Not quite. But, you know, the other thing is, now everybody has finally what they say they want. Charlie said he wanted off. He's off now.
Now he's off.
Warner Brothers, you know, everybody's fired him. No one talked about that he was having issues, if he was having issues, when it was going on. Okay, so everybody's got what they want. So now it's done.
Yeah, but now he's saying he's going to.
You know what? He's saying he's going to sue. You know, but once you fired for legitimate stuff that's in your contract, you can't sue.
Well, I know when we were talking about when you're saying that they never said anything before that, it just shows you that, you know, corporations, they always, anytime they go, no, it's okay, you're late this time, it's okay, they always keep that on file for when they need it.
But we don't know from any of the actors or from anyone that he was late, and everybody has trouble with lines, or at least I can say. But what I'm saying is that what he's finally done, which really does violate the contract, which is you cannot trash your show, you cannot trash your executive producer, there are things you can't do. So now everybody's got what they need, and maybe Charlie will get what he needs.
What about outside of the show and his business, though? Because now we're in a world now where we can actually watch someone get to a state where they really need help.
Only if we turn it on.
Where does the onus?
Only if we turn it on.
Well, it's hard to avoid it, though. I mean, it's everywhere.
Let us hope that for the sake of his children, what we're talking, that he now gets treated, and that we take this seriously. You know, the day that he is, the day that he's straight, we probably won't laugh or talk anymore. But we are at this point laughing and making it wonderful.
This is the first time it really looked bad, because before this it looked like he was just acting.
Well, no, not when he was talking.
I think we've been seeing a progression here.
This, of course, is going to go on and on. We're going to go on and on and on, but not today, because we got to go. But when we come back, we're bringing back more hot topics, because that's what we do. Here's something you don't hear every day. Northwestern University's human sexuality professor invited students to stay after class for a live sex show put on by an engaged couple who weren't students. 120 students stayed to watch, and now the professor apologized for the outrage and bad publicity, but maintains it was relevant to his teachings. Now, he, as we said, teaches sex in school. So that's his class.
They all stayed was optional.
100% attendance.
And it was, I would have stayed too. That's free, you ain't got to pay for it. Who wouldn't have stayed to watch?
School has supported him.
Yeah.
The couple showed intercourse with a sex toy, right?
Yes.
Was it not? I don't know, if you flunk this course, do you go to summer school and take remedial sex? I don't know.
You have to watch it again and again and again until it sinks in.
But the school supported him. But there were people who had students, so forth, in the class,
parents who sent their kids to the school,
who thought that there were other ways of showing it than showing the intercourse and the sex toy. What do you all think?
Well, it seems like a very direct way to teach sex, and these young people watch this kind of stuff in movies constantly. I cannot watch a movie lately without people having sexual intercourse. Maybe it's just the movies I watch. But...
Do you know how much a college costs? I mean, a college costs a ton of cash, right?
Money, yeah, so?
So, in fact, they are paying for it, and they're paying a ton of money. In fact, they may not be the ones paying for it. Their families may be the ones paying for it, or a scholarship may be paying for it.
If you're
it was optional attendance.
But wait, we haven't said why he did this. Yes. He did this, correct me if I'm wrong, he did this to show how women are brought to the point of orgasm.
Because there's been some conversations, and when people talk about the female orgasm, whether there is some ejaculatory action that happens. And some schools say yes, and some schools say no. And so this was an attempt to find out or give a definitive answer, or not definitive, but to give an answer to that question.
Because I assume she did. As a result of the intercourse.
Does it really matter if we know this? If we know this particular
If a man knows it, because how many times have you said, gosh, couldn't you have just gone to school to do this a little bit better? Didn't anybody teach you?
They're not teaching technique. They're saying, does the woman ejaculate? I don't think that women need to who cares? You did or you didn't. You know it.
That's a big thing. But there's no constant in the study, and if they wanted to, indeed, if he wanted to, for the point of furthering education and proving a study, he would have done a full case study if he was, going to continue education. Do a full case study with a number of women, and then provide the information to your students.
But it seems a little skeevy, but also, it's like when you're an actor and you go watch a movie, you watch it differently than the way a regular person will watch a movie. How do these books about sexuality come out? They watch people having
one question.
Sex, right?
Why did I ever leave teaching? That's all I mean. This is like a more interesting class than, statistics 101.
Would you ever have done this?
If you were teaching a human sexuality course.
Would you ever have done this?
No.
Not English, because you talk
I'm
English.
much too prudish. I don't disapprove of it.
We have live models, nude models that come and pose provocatively for artists.
For art classes.
I mean, so, if a student, if you're saying that you're sending your child to college, you're going to have to trust what their interests may be. And that has to be between you and the kid. I read some article where the man was saying, oh, well, we don't teach old masters, we don't teach this, we don't... Well, yeah, they do teach the old masters, but that was not what this class was. This was a class about sexuality, which is interesting because they don't teach it in high school or in, anywhere else. So the only place you can go. But let me ask you this. Oh, I can't ask you because we're going.
All right.
But I had a great question for you.
Just throw the question out and then go. Throw out the question.
I can't. Bill is shaking his head and I've got to go. But when we come back, we're bringing back Russell Brand.
Comes on, he is ready to party, and he's got a lot to celebrate these days. He just tied the knot with the gorgeous Katy Perry, and he has 2 movies on the way. Please welcome back Russell Brand. Gentle, tender kiss. Has marriage done that to you?
I think it's because it's International Women's Day. Oh. And you are international women.
Oh, thank you, Russell. Now, you are still in the newlywed stages with Katy Perry. Congratulations on your marriage, because you're just about to get married when you came on the show last time. So you guys got married. Can you tell us, has anything changed now that you are a husband?
I'm like a butler now. I think it's because I'm English. She kind of thinks of me as a butler.
Yeah. Nice to have one.
It is. I'm very diligent. I was very surprised by how quickly, it's really like a normal marriage, because of, Katie's a pop star and I am in films. Yes. So you'd think, oh, it'd be very glamorous. But it is real down to earth, oh, are you wearing that shirt, are you? And that means I have to take the shirt off. That's code. Yes. She lent my car to her brother, and he drove off to San Diego to pick up a fridge. And I thought, that's so, my life didn't used to have sentences like that in it. My life used to be much more about, there's chaos, glass, blood, madness. But now it's go and get that fridge.
This is after 5 months. How do you like that?
Yeah, 5 months. How am I going to be a decade down the road? I'll just be like a servant man, polishing windows, gardening.
That's so
you know what? You were very private about your ceremony. It took place in India, but at the Grammys, Katie showed a little bit of the ceremony at the Grammys. The mushy part. Whose idea was that? I loved it.
Her idea. She's a very creative woman, isn't she, old Katie?
Look at that. That's the only time we've ever seen your marriage, because it was so private.
Why did you pick India to get married? Any particular
reason?
It's
so beautiful there.
It's beautiful, yeah.
It's really beautiful. The people in India, they're really spiritual and relaxed, and it's a nice place to go. Plus, elephants. Not as, I read in the paper...
Excuse me, what?
Yes, darling.
Elephants.
What's that got to do with getting
Large
married?
mammal.
Yeah.
They never forget. So if this was a talk show with elephants and Barbara Walters was mentioned, they would remember like that.
You make no sense.
I make plenty of sense. When I went to India, the reason I went there...
Yes, dear.
It's a beautiful country. They've got sort of beautiful exotic animals. Some people said that we had them as pets. I'd never do that. I'm vegetarian. That's cruel. And we sort I love the old animals. God bless them. Lovely little things. Lovable dumb chums bouncing up. Happy to see you. Give them a stroke. Delightful.
That's true. You know, Cosmopolitan magazine just named you.
They didn't name me, it was my mum. Russell, she said. The minute I popped out, I've been wandering around with a name for years.
To continue, it says here, Cosmopolitan magazine just named you their fun, fearless male of the year.
Thank you.
Look at that lovely
There I am.
There has to be something you're afraid of, darling. What are you afraid of?
My wife, death, and you sometimes.
In that order.
Now, Russell, I've read that Katie wants to have a lot of children. Are you on board for that?
Yeah, I love children, me. I'm really, really happy when there's children around. But, well, I don't know, because I've not had any, so I don't know how you have to space it out. There's the incubation period, isn't it?
Yes,
where they live in there.
Yes.
Then they come out, and then there's, like, you can't immediately then have another one, can you? There's got to be some sort of strategy.
I would space them out.
You know how babies are made, I assume.
I am thoroughly well versed in that part of it.
OK, because we have a professor who can help you.
Well, if he's got any tips, or otherwise maybe I can help him, because I did a lot of research.
You go to Western with him.
I'm leaving it there.
I want to ask you about your body, because you had to pose for a Madame Tussauds of London sculpture, wax figure of yourself. Nice. Did they get everything, like, exactly right?
I think so. I mean, I've not seen it naked.
Okay.
He seems quite nice.
Yeah, it looks good. How long did you have to sit and do it? Barbara's done it.
They come around your house and they sort of stick pins in you. It's kind of like voodoo. And, like, they measure you up and stuff, take photographs from different angles. They put you on a rotating thing, like you're an advert for a car.
Could you sit still
You're
so
rotated
long?
on a thing. No, you have to be utterly motionless, or else they can't render you correctly in wax. I wouldn't want a version of me where I was sort of snarling or squinting or looking peculiar.
I did it, and I used my own clothes. Did you use your own clothes?
They wanted some of my clothes, but I became jealous of it. I thought, I don't want him dressed up in my stuff, living a life, posing with tourists. That used to be me. I said, let him get his own clothes. I had to struggle for everything. Let him get out there and work.
Woman, did you use your own clothes? Did you use your own clothes when they made your
they took some of my clothes, but I wasn't wearing them, so I was okay.
To give them up.
And then I had to cut all my hair off so that it matched.
You had to dress up, Russell.
It's very crazy, but I have a question, because one of my favorite shows on Broadway is Rock of Ages.
Oh, yeah.
I hear that you may be doing Rock of Ages. Is that true?
I think they're talking about it, like being in it. But I'm not in charge of, you know, like when you get offered a film, there's all scheduling, money, things like that. I'm not in charge of those conversations because I can't sit still and focus on it.
Yeah. But you wouldn't be adverse to doing the movie version.
No, because I think it's got good people in it, hasn't it? Tom Cruise, Alec Baldwin. Imagine being in a film with them. They can't keep their trailers locked all the time. I can go in, rifle through their stuff.
Another thing.
I think you should have hosted the Academy Awards.
Do you think I should have hosted the Academy Awards?
Yes, I do.
That would have been I think it would have been very good.
I'd like that. Host the Oscars.
Yeah, you did MTV twice.
The thing they said about you is that you're fearless, and that's what they need there.
They need fearlessness.
Yes.
Oh, I could host the Oscars.
Yes.
Wait, but I want to know.
Start a campaign.
A campaign for me.
Yeah. This is what I want to know. You're British. You're a big celebrity over there. Are you going to the wedding of Kate
Middleton
and her fiancé?
There's two ways of answering that question. One is I've not been invited, and the other one is yes, I'm going. I'll just turn up.
You guys, he's not going anywhere. More with Russell Brand when we return.
Easter Bunny's son in the upcoming movie Hop, and the pressure of the holiday has him reaching for a barf bag instead of a bonnet. Take a look.
A human Easter bunny?
Come on, Fred, it doesn't make sense.
A bunny makes no sense. You deliver eggs. You want to get all logical, bring logic into this? You should be an Easter chicken.
What? Oh, come on.
You might resist it at first, but hey, change can be a good thing.
You don't want the job anyway. The pressure is ungodly. It did a number on me. Do you know, there was a period of roughly 9 months where the sight of a coloured egg made me want to vomit, and rabbits are physically unable to vomit, so it was just hours of nothing coming out.
I don't care.
Imagine that, Fred.
So, that's really cute. I have to say, it looks really adorable and funny. So you play the teen son of the Easter Bunny who does not want to follow in his father's footsteps. Okay,
Yes, if you are born an Easter Bunny, you've got to become the Easter Bunny as soon as you're old enough. That is the logic of the Easter Bunny world.
Legacy, right? It's all about legacy. But did you have the same...
It's about legacy.
Right.
It's like being a Bush or a Clinton. At some point, you've got to become president.
Exactly
right. Like Prince William, you got to become the prince.
Or like Prince William. Inevitably, he will become king.
What about you? Did you...
Oh, the Tooth Fairy, yes, yes.
It's hard to be born a male tooth fairy. It's very
It's
tough.
a hereditary position.
That's what I
Whoopi.
hear.
You can't have just anyone being the Tooth Fairy, coming in, reaching under your pillow. I've got in trouble for that in the past.
Absolutely.
Now, you know, they say a lot of the characters, when you do animation, the characters look like you. And I got to say, first of all, you were amazing in Despicable Me as well,
Thank you.
Russell. We saw that 9 times, my son and I. You were so good. 9 times. Now, the bunny, did it kind of take on your characteristics?
Yes, there you are. As you can see, I am similar to that thing, and this could, for the moment, be a drumstick, although I will return it to that lady, as she apparently needs it.
You took it from our audience.
This is hers. It was a test.
Get that back. During the commercial break, Russell was in the audience stealing things such as
He was
canes
giving
and
kisses.
giving kisses, stealing hugs.
Now, Russell, I understand that before you became the big star that you are, you had many different jobs, and one of them was that you were a mailman.
I was a mailman, yes. When I was younger and just doing doing jobs, I worked in bar. I was a mailman. I sold photocopier ink cartridges. That was really unrewarding because the moment you sell a photocopier ink cartridge, you think, yes. Doesn't make you feel that satisfied. And when I was a mailman, I was a bad mailman because sometimes I did take those letters.
Oh, Russell.
I didn't have much money, and what I don't like about wages is you have to wait you do the work, then it's ages till you get the money. I thought the letters, they're here now.
Russell, you are crazy. I want to. You also are in the upcoming remake of Arthur.
As Arthur.
As Arthur, you are playing Arthur. Exactly. Now you are. Arthur is he's this millionaire playboy who deals with alcohol. Now you've written 2 books where you talk about your struggles with alcoholism and drugs. You've been sober for 9 years, I believe.
Getting on for 9 years.
9 years. Congratulations. Was any of that? Did you use any of that to play Arthur?
Not really, Sherry, because when I was a drunk, I was nuts, right? Yeah. And he's like a jolly drunk. Now I'm much more of a jolly, gentle sort of person. But when I was on crack and heroin and alcohol, I was much more hectic.
Yeah. Really? I wonder why.
I don't know what it was, Joy, but I was in a weird mood.
How did you get off it?
I went into a treatment centre, and then I belong to various fellowships where one day at a time I just focus on not drinking or taking drugs, just one day at a time. That's, for me, the simple thing. Yeah.
No, that's great, and what a wonderful career you have. You know, Arthur, so many of us remember, was the late Dudley Moore.
Lovely Dudley Moore, isn't he amazing?
And you have to make it different. Because you don't want to be compared by, people.
You're comparing me to him right now.
Yeah, yes, we are.
In a split screen.
Yes, we are.
I love Dudley Moore so much.
Jennifer Garner plays your girlfriend, that was Liza Minnelli, and Helen Mirren plays
Helen Mirren plays the butler.
Yeah, the wonderful butler.
Yeah, Helen Mirren. She's got an Oscar.
John Gielgud's.
That was John Gielgud's.
He got an Oscar.
Yeah.
They're all getting them.
We have a clip, actually, of
Let's see that.
Really?
that bit. Yes, we do.
I'm into
Take a
it.
look.
I think I could live without the money. Oh, yes? How? I'd get a job.
What?
Fine. Fine, go ahead. Get a job.
I am a grown man, and I shall join the mature world of gainful employment to prove it. Don't let that undermine what I just said.
Is it true Helen would tell you naughty bedtime stories in the breaks.
She did that day, yeah. Because Helen Mirren, because she's so dignified and elegant, it's very surprising when she tells you an erotic tale.
Yeah.
It's confusing how to react.
So tell us the tale.
Well, I think you will not thank me, Joy, if I embark on it, because it was rude, it had sexual words in it, and a very filthy narrative.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was the Queen saying it. It was the Queen saying...
This is the second...
And then I took out my what's names and touched her unmentionables.
Time around, though, yeah? This is the second time in 2 years that you and Helen have worked together. Because
I'm very
the last
attracted to her as a person.
I think so.
She's lovely, isn't she?
You said this is what I love this. You said in the film, Jennifer Garner, who is your co-star, she is the woman that you're supposed to marry. You said that when you kissed her, her lips are like those made of red velvet cake.
Yeah.
So what are Katy Perry's lips like?
They are a conduit to paradise, a tunnel to another world. They are redemption, salvation, glory, poetry.
Can we very quickly show the picture of you in high school? Do we have it?
Oh, yes,
what a
we have a
difference.
high school
Can we
flashback.
Unbelievable.
Now that is glorious, if I do say so
I was a chubby lad.
Yes, we do.
It's a different nose.
We have so much fun with you when
That's
you're
my
here.
nose, that's the same nose, that's basically me.
That's basically you. In cuteness. We love you then, and we like you now.
I had a tricky time at school.
We do. Come back with us again. We certainly have a
love
good
it
time
here
with
on
us.
your
And our
show.
audience adores you. Our thanks to Russell Brand. Hop opens in theaters April 1st. And Arthur opens in theaters April 8th. We'll be right back with Lisa Ling.
Is back. Since she left The View in 2002, Lisa Ling has been on a non-stop journey all over the world, and her latest series now is for OWN, the Oprah Winfrey Network, and it gives a very poignant new look at America. And we're always happy to have you back. That's a big look at America, Lisa. Thank you for coming back with us. Welcome, welcome. So I have to ask you the most important thing that I want to know, and then we'll talk about...
I'm not pregnant.
No.
Okay.
That's what you always want to know from me.
I
do, very much, all the time.
Good.
And she misses us, and you're not pregnant, and you're married.
And my marriage is great.
And
Those are the two questions.
You're married to a doctor, and you're traveling all over, and I worry.
I know.
I want you to stay home a little bit with the doctor.
and we have been.
Married to
The
him,
travel has been quite intensive, but we're good. I'm all about therapy. You know, when I was here at The View, I would always lay on Joy's couch after the show, or I had some issues because Joyce had so many years of therapy that by default she was kind of my therapist. But I'm a big proponent of therapy. It helps a lot.
What's that got to do with your marriage?
No, I'm just saying that it always helps, especially when you have two professional people to be able to have that third party.
Okay, but everything's okay.
Everything's great.
So now we'll get on to the business at hand. You have a new series for OWN. It's called America with Lisa Ling. And you're talking in this about people's sexuality, but in general, what is it about?
Well, the episode that is airing tonight is called Pray the Gay Away with a question mark. And homosexuality is probably the most divisive, controversial issue in Christianity. And so,
except for abortion.
Right, it's one of them. It's one of them. And so what we're trying to do is not so much define what the Bible says about homosexuality. It's just to try and understand why people believe what they believe on both sides.
Can you explain to people what pray the gay away means?
Well, it's a term that some have used to try and signify the fact that people can come out of homosexuality. Right. So we call the show Pray the Gay Away with a question mark because there's some who believe that is absolutely impossible to be able to do.
Is it mostly religious that
it is. It is.
That Christians primarily, is that what it is, are trying to say you can be straight?
Right. That with work you can... And not so much you can be straight, but you can reject a homosexual life.
You know, you met a young man, I watched it, was really interesting, and his name was Christian, and he had been struggling with his sexuality and religion, and we have a clip of this we want to share. Take a look.
Christian was in drag. He was 20 years old, and his life had become a hardcore binge of drug abuse, alcohol, and random sex with other men. He was out of control, and he wanted out.
It was just like, this isn't right on any level. I hated myself so much.
At this time, I want to bring Christian up. Come up, Christian, for a second.
Janet gave me her phone number, and she's like, you know, I want you to come back. Just promise to come back at least one more time.
He used to wear all this makeup, but God transformed this boy's life.
After meeting with him, and you did spend a lot of time with him, do you believe that in either praying the gay away, do you think he's living an authentic life?
Right. Well, Christian's an interesting case. I think that he desperately wants to marry a woman and have kids with a woman. He still says that he's very attracted to men, and if that's what he wants, far be it for anyone to begrudge him. But the truth of the matter is that he and people who are part of the Exodus movement, we spent a lot of time, we got exclusive access inside the Exodus movement. They say that you can't completely turn it off. Like you can't change your sexual orientation, but you can try to live a life according to what the Bible says, with help. And this organization says they can help you.
You talk to a great many people, as you say, all around the country. But do you think that it is possible to change your sexuality? Is that what you come to a conclusion?
Even the head of Exodus says that he doesn't believe you can change your sexual orientation. He says that he constantly has to fight his attraction for men.
They still have the urge.
It's like one day at a time.
They just try to live a life as close to the Bible as they perceive it to be.
Isn't that terribly frustrating?
Well, the American Medical Association says that kind of trying to conversion therapy, there are problems to it, that people can lead a life of torture and suicide and pain. Yeah. And so we also spent time at this gay Christian camp as part of this show. And what was amazing about that experience is it's a camp filled with kids who are openly gay, but who go and they praise God at the same time, right? And what I loved about this experience is I actually find these kids to have a stronger faith than most people I've ever met, because they're condemned by the church, and they're also condemned by a lot of gay people for being Christian. Because, well, and they're not condemned by God.
Or by themselves. They believe in themselves.
They do, and they believe that God loves them.
They are what they are.
Who they are.
And they also didn't someone say in it
it.
that they felt as though they would be. One of them said having two sins, as so to speak, right? That they would then be lying on top of trying to just be who they were in the church.
And I actually think that these kids were actually living such a true expression of faith.
At the gay Christian camp.
Despite condemnation from both sides.
You say that the gay community condemns them because they're Christians? I don't know if that's true.
Well, I think that there are some in the gay community who've been so burned by the church that they can't even entertain a conversation about Christianity, and they want to harp on people who are Christian. And so there's condemnation.
If people read their Bible, God pretty much says, look, come to me. I'm here for you no matter what. I love you. So, you know.
This is just one of the programs that you are doing with...
I think there's a halo.
I was looking for lightning. Whenever I say something oh yeah, I know, but I always.
I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna have to. Yeah, it's time to go. I gotta do to you what you do to us at the beginning, Lisa. Lisa, it's always a pleasure to have you on. This is just one of a series that Lisa's doing, and our America with Lisa Ling is Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. on the Oprah Winfrey Network. Give her our love, and thank you for being with us. We'll be right back.
Okay, tonight on my HLN show, which is at 10 o'clock, I'm having Joan Rivers with her daughter, Melissa. I think it would be fun to watch, so tune in.
I think it would be fun. In the meantime, have a great day. Take a little time to have fun and enjoy the view.